Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Sci-Fi Horror and Fantasy Show podcast. I am your host, Ronald Donahue, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Jeff McIntosh.
Happy July. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July yesterday.
Did you happen to watch the news today? I mean, I didn't watch it today. I'm asking because, every year you hear more and more just absolutely stupid ways people get like really injured with fireworks. And I saw this one imbecile today. He had some type of rocket. Okay, it was kind of like one of them bottle rockets, but this one was like kind of big because the stick had to be about 3 feet. Well, about 3 feet long. Well, 2 feet long. Two. Let me see, 1, 2. About 3 feet long. And so he puts it in his mouth, right? While his friends are everybody's just laughing. It's so funny. Oh, it's funny. And he lights it. Dude, this guy, it was like somebody just blasted him in the face with a flamethrower, man. I'm like, I'm wondering if this guy if he can still see after that, you know? I mean, good grief. You know what it is? It's the booze and fireworks. It's just not a good mix, man. It's really not a good mix. So I haven't heard anything. I know last year some guy playing around blew his hand off, and happy
Well,
4th, America.
you know what I say, Ron.
Mm-hmm.
It's only funny until somebody gets hurt. Then it's hilarious.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. How for our listeners, did you enjoy yourself yesterday? Anything special? I didn't do anything, man. It was like thunder and lightning so bad down here yesterday. And it's always on the 4th, always. I decided I was going to just throw some burgers on the grill, but I had to time it just right in between one thunderstorm, some sunshine, and the next thunderstorm. But yeah, I didn't really do anything. I wasn't. I didn't do anything yesterday. Did you? Did you go to see any fireworks or anything?
We didn't do anything. We had a couple of we had a very quiet day,
Mm-hmm.
and we were on the fence about going to see fireworks because the one place we usually go is usually crowded, so we go and park out on the lake where everybody else goes. And it was threatening rain, and Deb goes, "Well, probably aren't going to be any fireworks tonight, so why don't we just stay home?" So I went in and checked, checked the calendar of events, and fireworks were going to start like at 9:45, and I looked at the clock and it was like 9:15,
No,
and
okay.
it's like a 25-minute drive out to the lake to see the fireworks. I said, well, maybe if we rush, we can catch it. And Debbie just goes, well, I'm really not in the mood. And I said, oh, well, okay, then, we can just goof off. And I spent like 2.5 hours loading Windows 11 on my new computer. So
Ooh, fun.
that was
Like fun.
that was my 4th of July.
Oh, okay. I can tell you one thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so pissed. I didn't, and it's every year. It's every freaking year. I don't know why it slipped my mind. It wasn't until a friend texted me about maybe 30 minutes ago that he says, oh man, the Twilight Zone marathon was on point this year. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot about it. It's every 4th of July. So I'm sure no, it won't be it won't be replaying it because they got so many episodes. They do 48 hours and really never play the same episode twice. I guess I can, dive in and try to find whatever station. I gotta ask them I don't know if it's on Pluto.
Pluto has a Twilight Zone station,
Hmm.
and I want to say Amazon Prime has all 4 or 5 seasons on it. Prime or Netflix or Hulu, one of the streamers that I have has all Twilight Zone, and we've seen them so many times, and I have my own particular favorites, like the one with Anthony putting people into It's a Good Life,
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah.
and that'll come on, and I'll watch it, and the wife will go, haven't we seen this 50 times? And I said, yeah, but it's still good.
Yeah, it never gets old, man. I love that one. I love the one with William Shatner in the airplane and he's
Nightmare
seeing
at
the
20,000 feet.
there you go. I love that one. I love that one. Was it Return to Doc House?
Death's Head Revisited.
That's the one. And then what's the other? Oh, my name is Talking Tina, and I'm gonna kill you.
Oh yeah, with Telly
With Telly
Savalas
Savalas.
before he
That was
became Kojak.
yeah,
Yes.
that's a
Did you
great
know
one.
at one point in time, and maybe you still can, that
Hmm.
you can buy those replica dolls?
No,
Yeah,
really?
they ain't cheap. I seem to think that they were like 300 or 400 bucks a pop.
Holy smoke!
Okay. I'm looking right now.
Does it talk? Does it really talk?
Yeah.
Uh,
Here's one on Etsy for $145.
no way. Talking Tina's called?
Yeah.
Holy smoke!
Here's one on something called replaytoys.com, $300.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. To be honest with you, I just thought of it as a prop in the episode. I never really thought they mass produced them. Man,
Well,
oh man,
like that, I had a TV movie back in the '70s with
Karen Black trilogy of
Karen
terror.
Black. Where
Yeah,
they had the
they sell those things that I'm
yeah,
like,
you could
dude,
buy those Zuni
I'll
Hunter
pass.
dolls.
Hard pass. Those things. I mean, man, even on if you look at them online, like that thing looks scary, man. I'll pass. I don't want that thing, man.
Well,
That's
I don't think the wife would be happy if I dropped $300
things.
on a talking Tina doll where I could say, "Hey, honey, look what I got! Ah,
Yeah, I know.
are you
She'll beat
stupid? Send it back."
she'll beat you to death with it.
I have enough stupid stuff here. Like a few years ago, I had the chance to buy a photo of the twins from The
Oh,
Shining.
but yeah,
Yeah, where they're and Danny, why don't you come play with us forever and ever and ever?
yeah.
And it was like $45, and I'm not really a fan of the Shining movie.
Me either. Yeah, me either.
I think Jack Nicholson it was the wrong choice to play it, but I don't work in Hollywood. But for some reason, I wanted the photo, so I went to my wife. I said, "Do you mind if I spend like $45 on this photo?" Well, it's a stupid waste of money, but it's your money, so go ahead. So I bought it, and
Okay.
I've got it. It's in a hard plastic sleeve. I've got it uh, somewhere in my room of junk. I'm not quite exactly, where I don't know exactly where it is.
Hmm.
I bought a photo of Nightmare Before Christmas that Ken Page had signed, who was the voice of Oogie Boogie.
Okay.
And I paid like $75, $80 for that and had him
Hey,
personalize it.
wow.
Again, that's in a sealed envelope where, the air can't get to it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
when I die, my wife is going to be able to go through all my stuff. And, oh, hey, look at these photos. And, maybe she'll be able to make a couple of bucks and defer my funeral expenses. So, I don't
I
I
tell you, go ahead.
No, I can't take it with me. I mean, I'm going to try, but nah.
So I tell you what I did. What I did do on Friday. I Jurassic Park Rebirth. The only reason I watched that movie is because I like Scarlett Johansson. Let me just put that out there. That's gonna be the last Jurassic Park movie I watch. I can promise you, I'm not gonna watch anymore unless Jurassic Park is in outer space or something. I'm not gonna watch it anymore. It wasn't a it's not a horrible movie, and this came out a year ago. So any of our listeners, if you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna give you any spoilers, but it has been out for a year now. It wasn't horrible, but it's just like one of those movies where you can just look at the different actors and be like, okay, he's not gonna make it. She's definitely not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. Ahead of time before you even, before the movie even plays out all the way. It's another, and it's the bad guy. What's always going to happen with the bad guy. I mean, like, oh my gosh, it's like almost a replay of the original movie, or suppose that the second one, or I don't know. I've done lost track of it. It was okay. It was all right, but that's gonna be the last time I watch it. Scarlett Johansson was good. I mean, I think she's a great actress. And also Mahershala Ali, he was in it. I didn't know that. I didn't know he was going to be in. He's a good actor too. I like him. But yeah, that was my Friday, and then I sat there afterwards like, golly, I could have been 2 hours. I could have been cutting paper. I could have, I could have, I could have been doing something fun, man. But
My
yeah,
wife likes dinosaur movies, so seen all the Jurassic Parks. Tubi has I'll say a great selection of really crappy dinosaur movies. There was one that we were watching a few months ago, and it was called Jurassic Town. And one of these great movies, and she'll be watching it, and I'll be going, isn't there anything better than this crap? I mean, we could be watching The Twilight Zone. Well,
yeah.
it's a dinosaur. Yeah, but you've seen the Jurassic Parks. What else is there left to say?
I remember there was this one that came out years ago, and the premise sounded cool, but oh man, well, it was basically about, okay, so it's in the future. They've already developed time travel. So this agency would actually take people back to go look at dinosaurs. I can't remember if they took them back to go hunting for them or just to go back and see them. But the stipulation was you can't, in essence, like when you take a little kid into a china shop, don't touch anything because, one small thing that you mess up back then could destroy the future. And of course, somebody did something stupid. So when they get back, they were able to get back. I think they were able to get back, if I'm not mistaken. But the whole world was like in shambles. It was like a world war. It was just ruined. You know what I mean? Armageddon, the whole nine.
That
So
no, go ahead.
no, no, no. I mean, it was like a B movie too. It wasn't. It never came out at the theater or anything. Like it was a B movie,
Yeah,
but it wasn't great.
I saw that, and it was based on a Ray Bradbury story that I do not know the title of, but you were right. They went in the back. They went back to the future. Yeah, Back to the Future. They went back into the past, and they could hunt dinosaurs, but they could only hunt dinosaurs that they knew in the future were going to be dead. Were going to be dead anyway, and they
Right.
had like uh, a particular path, and you're not allowed to step off the path. You're not allowed to do anything. You got to stay on the path.
Hmm.
And one of the guys stepped off the path and crushed a butterfly, I think is what
Yeah,
it
I think
was.
that's it. I think that's exactly it. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
something real simple.
I can't remember the movie's title or the title of the short story, but it is based on the way on the stuff of Ray Bradbury.
Oh, yeah. Sound of Thunder.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
It, it came out in 2005. Yeah, and you're right. Based on the famous Ray Bradbury short story, it follows a few. Oh, it doesn't tell us the name though. It's called, yeah, in the year 2055, called Time Safari Inc. takes wealthy big game hunters back, and then somebody steps on a because they're on an anti gravity path, accidentally steps on a butterfly, butterfly, triggering catastrophic evolutionary waves in the present. As a oh, IMDb gives it like 4.3 out of 10. They're being very kind. And that's like 21,700 some people voted or whatever. I was like, wow, it's a terrible movie. But yeah, that was my thing. The one thing I will say was, I mean, I'll give them credit. I'll give them credit for one thing. They keep introducing new dinosaurs that we never heard of before, probably aren't even real or whatever, but they keep coming up with new dinosaurs. But I it just always kills me, the premise where people go places where they really know they have no business going. I mean, it's really there's no. I mean, I guess there is amount of money that you can risk your life for, but man, I don't know. It's just it's I don't know. Again, it's the same thing again and again. Let's go where we're not supposed to go, where the dinosaurs are. We're not supposed to be there. And then, oh no, everything's going crazy. People are dying, whatever. And let's try to escape with our lives. That is until they come out. Because there's an I actually texted, I not texted, I actually checked to find out, are there gonna be any more movies, Jurassic Park movies? And sure enough, yep, it's gonna be more. I don't remember the name of the next one. This is Rebirth. I think they even had the name of the next one. I don't. I'm like, really, come on already. It's gonna be like the Fast and the Furious. I'm telling you. Next thing they're gonna have, oh, we have a secret moon base because we can't have the dinosaurs on Earth, and they're gonna be on the moon base with the. I mean, I don't know what else you can do. I mean, they're on the land. They're all over the place. Now they're in the city. I mean, just like you're driving down the street now, you can see like, well, if you're in Florida, you're gonna see chickens everywhere. But I mean, you're seeing like these megaton dinosaurs in the city, and okay, okay,
If they write it, they will come.
there's no doubt.
What if we had dinosaurs in outer space?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I probably one of our listeners might take that and make a $1 million movie off of it, man. So
Just
you're
remember where
welcome.
the idea came from.
I know, you're welcome in advance. You're welcome. Well, speaking of that, our first story for the night is coming from Variety magazine, where they gave a box office report for Minions and Toy Story. The new Minions and Monsters movie nears $100 million in the box office overseas, and Toy Story 5 climbs to $764 million globally. That is absolutely freaking amazing to me. Not the fact that it's earned so much money, but it's just the fact that they keep making them and people keep lining up to go see those. I mean, see those. They love them. They love them. I think that has got to be one of Disney's best earning properties. So I guess they're going to just keep. We're on 5 now. I mean, I guess they're going to keep going until people stop going. I think I saw the first Toy Story. Yeah, it's a cute story. It was good. I didn't need to see any more personally, but I'm just absolutely amazed. I mean, and the Minions, you know, I haven't seen. I'm not gonna wait. No, did I? No, I didn't see any Minions movie. I I saw all the ones with Steve Carell playing, wasn't that Gru or Grow or Grow, the
Grew,
bald head guy? Gru. I've
grew.
seen all those ones. What's the name of the Despicable Me? Isn't that it? Yeah, I saw both of those ones, and then when he turned into the good guy, I saw those. And the Minions, yeah, they're okay, but I've never seen one of their standalone movies because I think that they're funny when they're in the Despicable Me movies, but I just can't bring myself to sit down and watch them. I can't do it. Have you seen any of the standalone Minions movies?
I've seen a couple. I saw the one. I saw the one where they were helping Gru steal the was it the crown jewels? They were in England for some reason, and there was one with Sandra Bullock where she voiced the female villain.
Okay.
I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple of the shorts, but I'm not dedicated to them enough to go see a standalone. Now the Despicable Me movies, especially the first one, you know, it still tickles me. I like the musical soundtracks with them. I'd be up for Despicable Me 5, but from the article I was reading, said that they thought that the market for Despicable Me was kind of saturated. So
No.
maybe,
Well,
maybe not.
no, check this out. So it says in here that the first Minion spinoff came out in 2015, and it says 60% for the sequel Minions: The Rise of Gru in 2022. Those films were juggernauts with 1.1 billion and $940 million globally, respectively. And you know, the funniest thing about that, we're only talking about butts and seats at the movie theater. I can't even fathom how much money they're going to make off the merchandise, the clothing, and the toys. My word, Disney is making money hand over freaking fist.
I can't remember what the live action Aladdin grossed. I think it was something like $1 billion worldwide.
Hmm.
And now I see ads for live action Moana.
Yeah, I saw the I love like Hawaiian movies, animated movies. Like I'm a big Lilo and Stitch. I love Lilo and Stitch. But I saw Moana. It was okay. I mean, the animated one. I know they even made like a second one too. I even like the Lilo and Stitch movie, the live action. It was okay. I mean, it was only slightly different than the original animated movie. It really wasn't a whole lot different, to be honest with you. But it was cool. It was good. I just I saw Moana. It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't my favorite like Hawaiian history,
I
legend
think the
movie.
I think the actress that voiced Lilo, the same actress that was in the horror movie The Ring,
Mhm.
passed away a couple weeks ago.
Wait, that was oh, was she the voice of Lilo or was she the voice of she was the voice of Lilo?
I am almost, let's say, 80% certain that I read that she was the voice of Lilo.
Yeah, I did see that she passed away though. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I did see that. Yeah, so what do you make of this? Do you think that these movies, let's say they come out with another Toy Story. See, I don't even know if they are. I'm almost certain if they're making this kind of money, I'm almost certain there's going to be another Minions movie. There's going to be another Toy Story movie. Do you think it's going to continue to earn this kind of money, or do you think eventually it's going to drop off?
Well, nothing lasts forever. You might have 5 or 6 or 7 really great movies, and then you're going to take a misstep, and it can kill the franchise. I mean, look at George Clooney's Batman. You
Hmm.
know, I mean that has got to be hands down like the worst Batman ever across time, and that almost killed the franchise.
I'm almost wondering though. The first Toy Story came out. The very first movie came out in 1995. So what? We're looking at 2005, 2015, 2025. We're looking at 31 years ago. I'm wondering if some of these, well, not some, a lot of these people going to these movies, they might have been kids when they saw it in 1995. They grew up and had kids, so now they're bringing their kids. So it's like almost like generation after generation of families going to see this movie. I think, at least in my mind, that has to be part of the formula.
Yeah, people will say, "Hey, I liked Lilo and Stitch, back in the back in 2000, and now Lilo and Stitch are in outer space and they're waging war on the intergalactic. Look, like, I'm down for that. Let's pay that $30 a seat. let's let's go see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So for our listeners, were you some of the people in the movie theaters that basically threw out some cash to go see these movies? Either the Minions and Monsters or the Toy Story 5 movie. And then what did you think of them? I mean, they're getting great ratings. People love these movies. Did you enjoy it? And would you go see Toy Story 5? I'm sorry, Toy Story 6, 7, or 8 if they continue to churn them out? Let us know. Drop us an email at drbloodstone@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, next up on the deck, this is coming from IGN. Henry Cavill's live action Voltron movie will skip theaters for Prime Video release and will be coming out. It's due to come out in 2027. Does that sound surprising to you at all?
No, not really, because you already have a built-in audience. You've got people who have Prime Video. Prime seems to be getting a lot of movies. They have Hail Mary now, which I keep meaning to sit down and watch, and I started watching it the other night, and I got about 5 minutes into it, and I just said, I can't really, I can't really feel this movie, but I'm probably going to have to go back and watch it because ratings were pretty good that I saw, and the story looks interesting. So why not move to Prime where people are going to be clicking on it just to say, hey, geez, it's the middle of August and it's 900 degrees out and I'm tired and irritable and sweaty. I want to watch something new. Oh, hey, Voltron. Click.
See, I see it differently. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they figured out this is not going to make any cash at the movie theater. I don't know what the budget is. Eventually, we can find out what the budget was to make this thing. But I'm just figuring they just didn't feel that this was going to make any cash at the movie theater. Because if this was going to be a blockbuster film, I have no belief at all that they wouldn't have put it out in the theater. I mean, I've seen them do stuff where they put it out in the theater, then like a week later they put it out on Amazon. I can understand that. But, well, even that doesn't make a lot of sense, depending on how much money the movie makes. But that's what I tend to believe. I tend to believe they looked at it and like, you know what? Let's just go ahead and put this out on Amazon because we're not going to really make that much cash at the movie
It's
theater.
it's going to be like they're going to put it on the double bill with Supergirl.
No, yeah, double feature. Exactly. Because think about it. Again, I don't know what the budget was just to make it, but then you got to figure you got to market this thing. And that's just what I'm thinking. I could be dead wrong. I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. I just figure let's cut our losses. Let's go ahead. And who knows? We could probably still get some good fan, feedback or whatever. We put it on Amazon. A lot of people will watch it or what have you. Maybe it eventually will go to the theater if another people, enough people watch it. But that's just what I'm thinking. That's all I'm
Well,
thinking.
I took a quick look online,
Okay.
and the stuff I'm looking at says if it's accurate and it's online, a budget ranging between 180 million to 250 million dollars. Much of that dedicated to advanced computer generated graphics, photorealistic robotic lions, large scale space battles, highly detailed environments. Star-studded casting, practical effects, expensive marketing push the overall budget beyond $300 million, making it one of the most expensive sci-fi adaptations in recent years. So,
Yeah,
as much as you can trace anything online, that's what it is.
see, the only thing I'm wondering about how accurate it is because there has been no marketing. What marketing are they talking about? There's been no marketing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, just just the occasional article online. I mean, I
Right.
haven't even seen any trailers on YouTube.
Nothing. Nothing at all. But of course, it still costs to make it. So let's just say 300,000. 300,000. It costs 300,000 and that's why they put it on Amazon. No, $300 million altogether. Let's say with marketing. Let's take off the marketing because we haven't seen any marketing. I'm figuring mm, probably to make the movie was probably 180, 190. So then your marketing, you're talking about 110. Say if it's 190, 110, which like say would bring you up to that $300 million. Dude, this is not a $300 million movie. I mean, they're not going to make any cash for this. There's no way they're going to bring in that kind of cash. First and foremost, I think the majority of people who will go see it would probably be, you know, people who grew up watching it. I mean, I grew up watching Voltron back in the 80s or what have you. So you have those folks who would go and see it. They'll probably bring their kids or whatever, to go see it or whatever. But you don't hear people like really clamoring, like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go see Voltron. When they coming out with a Voltron?" You don't hear it. And then look, I like Henry Cavill. I've seen him act in different things. I think he's a really good actor. But realistically, I don't think he's gotten a lot of the breaks that a lot of other actors who are not nearly as talented as he have got. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is a movie starring Henry Cavill, other than with the Superman logo on his chest, going to really bring in that many people? That many people, to the movie theater? I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So that's my take on it. I just believe again that it's just because they're going to cut their losses. They'll be entertaining for anybody. I don't think anybody's going to sign up to Amazon just like, oh my gosh, so I can watch Voltron. But I do believe it'll be entertaining or what have you. I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope it works out, but I hope it's good. I hope Henry Cavill gets some type of Amazon award, best Amazon actor or something, for his role in this movie. All right. So we have next. This is an article coming from Bloody Disgusting. You ever read their articles?
Yep.
They have some pretty interesting things sometimes. So this is reporting that Ryan Coogler's The X-File reboot has wrapped production on its pilot. So now that the pilot has been finished, it's been completed. Like they say, it's in the can now. It's going to be up to the higher ups to see whether or not they're going to end up making this a series. If they're going to, green light the series. It hasn't been greenlit yet, but the guy's a very talented director, writer and director. He did an awesome job in Sinners. If anybody hasn't seen Sinners, if you like horror movies, it was it was really good. Very, very good. I really hope that this will give new life to the series. Now, I'll be honest with you. The original X-Files, it aired from 1993 and it ran for 9 seasons altogether. 1993 and 2002 with 2 additional seasons arriving in 2016 and 2018 for a total of 218 episodes. It came out with a couple feature films. One in 1998, The X-Files Fight the Future, and 2008's X-Files I Want to Believe. I tell you this, when X-Files came out, I was dating my wife at the time, and my wife knew. She was not supposed to call me unless the house was burning down or she was in the emergency room when X-Files came on, man, because I was not going to be disturbed watching my X-Files. I used to love that show. But honestly, I cannot watch those old episodes now. I just, they were great, fantastic. I just don't have the interest in them anymore. I think of other shows. That's not a one, standalone one that I feel like that for. There's other great shows, other great series that I used to watch, but I just I can't watch them anymore. And that's one of them. So I was happy to hear like, okay, we're going to get a reboot. I'm assuming there's going to be like all brand new episodes. I'm hoping we're just not going to have, new actor and actress playing the same old episodes that we had prior. I'm sure that some of them are going to be maybe touch back on some of the ones that didn't get solved in the original series, but I'm expecting a whole bunch of new episodes, new stories. So, Jeff, do you think with Ryan Coogler's, the guy's amazing, amazing director, do you think that this pilot episode will be enough to get the series greenlit by the powers that be?
I think the time is right for a reboot of the X Files with different characters of other ethnic. I can't even say it.
Ethnicities.
They, uh, I'll say race, which is a lazy and inaccurate term, but
Mhm,
I'm going to use it for the purposes of this.
mhm.
We've seen the X Files, and we've seen white agents in a white power hierarchy, and it would be interesting to see events from the another perspective.
A different cultural perspective. I get you.
Thank
Well,
you.
the actor and actress, it's Himesh Patel. He played in a movie called Tenet and Don't Look Up, and he's going to be she's the star opposite of Danielle Deadweiler. She played in The Woman in the Yard. I saw that movie. It was good. I'm kind of confused about the ending, but that was a good movie. Very creepy, but it was good. So you're talking about he looks like his nationality is Indian, and Miss Deadweiler is an African American woman. So yeah, you're gonna have 2 different faces now. It's not gonna be David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson any longer. I'm sure they're gonna pop up. You can't tell me they're not gonna show up at one time or another. They could be retired or somewhere, but they're gonna
The
pop up,
only
I'm sure.
the only thing I ask, and this was my big complaint about the X Files, is I'm tired of hearing about aliens and abductions and Mulder's sister being
Oh
maybe
yeah,
possibly abducted, or
right.
whatever the heck ever happened to her. I'm not really sure. But
Yeah,
let's leave the aliens alone. I'm sick of seeing. Oh, they touch down, and there's a crop circle, and all the cattle are mutilated. Let's find a rational explanation. Let it go.
yeah. Let's find a rational explanation. Like we find out it was some major restaurant corporation that was going around killing them animals for their restaurants. It was no aliens. It was a corporation.
It's a plot. It's a plot to give the American public mad cow disease. That's
That's a great story. Yeah, so I think so. I think it's gonna be greenlit. I think it's the right time. We don't have any other. I mean, there's a million and one different series out there now, detectives dealing with paranormal stuff and what have you. But I think it's time. I think this would be really cool if they were able to get it greenlit so that we can have this series rebooted again and let's see some brand new episodes. Who knows how long it's gonna last, but hopefully it'll get greenlit. Hopefully they'll get the thumbs up and we can see this new X File coming. All right. So next up, another bloody disgusting article. I know last week, man, we gave like a lot. Last week we gave what was it? Top five, was it horror and sci-fi movies, whatever. So this is an article Bloody Disgusting has. It's called 13 Upcoming Found Footage Horror Movies Releasing in 2026 and Beyond. We are not going to discuss all 13, but there are three on this list that we will. One of them is called Hunting Matthew Nichols. Now, this was already this article actually came out a couple months ago because it's already been released. I haven't heard anything about it. I guess maybe at one or two theaters it came out. I haven't heard anything about it. It said it was released April 10th. There's another one called Loner that was released back in April 24th. And the last one is a Bigfoot horror movie. Now, it hasn't been, well, at least at the time that this article was done, it hadn't come out. It's called The Last Footprint. So, a little synopsis on each one. The first one, Hunting Matthew Nichols, it's set on Halloween in 2021. It says it's one of the rare found footage horror movies that will actually debut in theaters. Well, supposedly April 10th it was. Here's a synopsis. On Halloween 2001, Matthew Nichols and Jordan Reimer went into the forests of northern Vancouver Island near Port Rupert with a VHS camcorder and vanished without a trace. See, it's always a great idea to go out in the middle of the woods. Always a great idea. Their camera was later recovered, but the boys were never found. 2 decades later, Matthew's sister Tara has hired a film crew to document her search for answers. You know what this? You know what? It just dawned on me. You know what this is basically a carbon copy of? That
Blair
last
Witch.
Blair Witch movie that came out. It's the same thing. The only difference is it's a sister looking for the brother, but the last Blair Witch movie that came out was the brother looking for his sister, Heather Donahue, her character. He was looking for her after all those years, right? So the trailers, and you can see the trailers if you go to our listeners. You can go online to this article. Just type in 13 upcoming found footage on Bloody Disgusting. You can see some of these trailers. Honestly, the trailer does look interesting to me. It still, unfortunately, has some of that shaky camera stuff that most annoying to me about those found footage films. Because, I mean, you have the camera, looks like, they took it and threw the camera up in the air. It's like spinning in every, direction. You can't see what's going on. But it does look interesting. I'll give them that. The trailer looks pretty good. Did you see? So, Jeff, I know you saw the trailer. What do you make of it? Do you think it's going to be a decent movie?
It looks pretty good, even if you factor in the belief that the movie or the people who make the trailers put in all the good stuff,
Absolutely.
and and they leave out the slow section of the movie or where the continuity doesn't match the rest of the film. But Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind taking a look at that.
Yeah. If I can find it. I mean, I have not heard anything about this at the movie theater, and I'm sure it's out of the movie theater now. So I'm sure we could probably find it on some streaming platform or something. I'll give it a shot. It looks like it might be decent. Okay, so the second one that we're talking about, this one is called Loner. So in this one, the story behind it is a found footage film that follows aspiring vlogger Angus Maddox, who ventures to a remote wilderness. Oh, here we go again with the friggin' wilderness retreat to create nature and survival videos. His idyllic getaway descends into a nightmarish fight for his life as he's held captive by a mysterious natural force. I'm not trying to poke fun at anybody's, physicality. But if you see this guy on the trailer, you're gonna be like, okay, this guy's gonna die. This guy's gonna die. You know what? It says it has a dash of dark humor in it because it does seem like it's not a comedy at all, but I'm sure there's gonna be some pretty funny stuff in there. And you know what? It almost reminds me, just vaguely, just kind of similar. I love the American version of The Office. Did you ever watch it, Jeff?
A little bit, but not really. Not really a big fan.
Nah, I love it. I've basically watched every episode. And there was one episode when Michael Scott was still there. For anyone who hasn't really watched all of the episodes, once Michael Scott leaves, you can stop watching it. It just went downhill from there. It's like exceptionally lame. But there was one where he wasn't invited by his manager who had taken out a whole bunch of these other managers on his camping trip, but he wasn't invited, so he felt a certain way about it. So he calls himself being like Survivor Man. This guy has no clue. And so he decides he wants to be taken out in the woods and he's going to film himself out in the woods surviving. It is so hilarious. It is so funny. And even though this is not a comedy, like I say, when you see this guy, if you're familiar with The Office, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me this like doesn't kind of remind you of that episode. But I'm gonna watch this one too because I could just see this guy getting worked over. I could just see it. I think it's not a comedy, but I think for me, I've kind of got a twisted sense of humor. I think it's gonna be funny. You think it's gonna be any good, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that the first couple movies that we're talking about are people going in the woods with video cameras. I think that if they were to review these lost footage tapes, they would say, let me film something in downtown Cleveland.
You know what I mean? Yeah. When does I for the life of so my supervisor, I love her to death. She's great. I have a great supervisor at my job. But me and her always go at it all the time because she's like a nature person, right? She loves going out in nature. I'm like, look, first and foremost, I left nothing out in nature. And if I had to go out there, you better believe I'm gonna be armed to the teeth, man. I'm not playing around. And I'll see like just recently, some lady out in the friggin' wilderness got mauled to death by a bear. And this happened, it wasn't just that one. That happened, I think it was last month. I saw another one. A guy was out in the woods. I believe he was with his brother. And they came across a bear and the bear got the guy and killed him. I'm like, I'm always like, nah, I'd have I piss her off because I'm like, yeah, I'd have myself a brand new pair of bearskin boots. And she's like, oh, that's their territory. I'm like, yeah, it is. But one of us got to go home. It's going to be me. I'm sorry.
Homie, don't play that way.
Oh, homie, don't play that, man. Oh no, man. But say, like I say, that's a moot situation because I am not one of those people that goes out in the woods. There's nothing out there. I don't need to go out there. You know, we have some friends. They went to Yellowstone Park. My friend, he said his dad always wanted to go out there, so they took his dad out there, and they were telling us a story how they were on a guided tour to look at all these wild animals. So they said where they were, they looked up on this hill. Well, not like kind of like a mountain hill, something like that. But they were kind of like in this. It's not a parking lot per se, but it was a area where they were parked at, and they got out of their cars. That's the first mistake. They got out their cars, so everybody's out there like, "Oh, look at the wild animals!" Oh, and for some reason, I don't know why, all those. I mean, and these are big animals, man. These like rams or things or what? These things are what, like 100 pounds, 150 pounds. These are big, all started running down, coming in their direction. And he's like, the guy tells him, no, just stand still. Okay, are you out of your mind, dude? I'd have been in my first and foremost again, I wouldn't have even been there. But if I was so I don't know why I would be out of my mind being there. I would be in my car so quick. There is no way. And the things ran past them. I mean, they didn't hurt anybody or whatever. But no, man. No, that's let nature needs to be by itself. I like nature when I can watch it on TV. That's as close as I need to get to it, man. You know. So the last one, here we go again. Here we go again. The last one, this is a Bigfoot. They're making a bunch of these Bigfoot horror movies now. There's no such thing as Bigfoot. Debate me if you want to. There's no such thing. This one is called The Last Footprint. This is funny. It says a found footage take on Bigfoot that's based on purportedly true encounters. Right. Okay. The Last Footprint aims to make you think twice before ever heading out into the woods again. Well, it's done its job because I'm not going out there. So, see, they're already ahead of the game. They've already convinced me. A documentary crew investigates a wave of animal attacks and missing persons in South Carolina. Teaming up with a local hunting party, they decide to discover that some legends are true. Here you go again. We got a camera, we got guns, and we going out in the woods. Yeehaw. Okay.
I'm beginning to sense a theme here.
Yeah. That's all you need, man. You just need some people that want to go out in the woods. They have no business being out in the woods. They're looking for something that doesn't need to be they should be looking for, and it doesn't turn out right. Oh my gosh, what a surprise. What a surprise. I mean, I saw the video and I saw the trailer. It, it looks like there was a show. I think it came on a few years ago. I don't remember what channel it came on. Discovery Channel, whatever. I don't know. But what was it called? Was it Monster Hunters or Bigfoot Hunters or something? About these guys, these I'm gonna be polite. These how shall I say? I would say country. Gentlemen look like they came up in the countryside. I'll just say that. And so they were out there supposed to be hunting Bigfoot, right? And it was always like the ghost hunter shows. I'll admit, I'm like slow sometimes. It really very slow. I used to watch. What was the first one? Wasn't it Ghost Hunters? The guys
Yeah, I
that used
think
to
so.
work for the plumbing. Yeah, Ghost Hunters. I used to watch Ghost Hunters religiously, right? Every week, like, oh my gosh, they saw stuff, they saw stuff. But then it finally dawned on me after I don't know how many seasons, like, you know what? Every time they're seeing these full body apparitions, how come the cameras never pointed in that freaking direction? Right? Never. We never see it, but they saw it. I'm like, okay. Then the light bulb finally turned on, like, oh, okay, I've been getting duped this whole time. So this kind of reminds me of the other series that was out with the Bigfoot hunter guys. They would always be out in the woods. Somebody saw something. I remember one time they had like a makeshift kind of blind, like a hunting blind or whatever. They were out there. They're supposedly hearing these noises. And then all of a sudden, the roof off the blind gets ripped off. They take off running, but nobody had a camera. Nobody had an infrared camera, but it was Bigfoot that did it. This is what that reminds me of. This is actually what it reminds me of. You know what? Just basic logic. I can tell you right why there is no such thing as Bigfoot. America loves guns, right? We love our guns here in freaking America. Everybody has guns. It's like now they want to give them out to everybody. If there was really a Bigfoot, if there was really a Bigfoot, do you know how much notoriety you would get if you bought one of those dead things back, so scientists could look at it? Man, you would be on every news station across the world. Finally, Bigfoot. No one has ever killed one of these things, right? We see these like videos where they're like 1,000 yards away. We see a leaf move. Oh, it's Bigfoot. There's no such thing as Bigfoot. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. Jeff, what did you think of the trailer? Do you think it's going to be a decent movie?
Yeah, it looks pretty. It looks pretty good. I like anything. I like anything with Bigfoot. I am kind of on the fence if there was such a thing as a giant uh, man ape like creature wandering the forests of the United States. All I will say is that I like the fact that people are still talking about Bigfoot. They're still talking about uh, cryptids because my belief it would be a sorry world if we didn't have people who didn't believe in Bigfoot or ghosts or vampires or werewolves or Wendigos in the forests of America. I think that we need to have the belief in something larger than ourselves. So, I kind of like the ongoing speculation about, is there a Bigfoot? Is there not a Bigfoot? Is there actually chupacabras wandering the deserts of New Mexico or, wherever? I like the fact that people are still talking about it. I like the fact that they're still making movies. I like the fact that, there are still, pockets of belief in the United States where, we're not really focused on science and, well, because we haven't found it, that means that there aren't any such things. So, they're keeping the belief alive, and that's good. I like that.
Yeah, just kill them. That's all. Kill some so we can all see them. That's all I'm saying. Kill a Bigfoot, kill a chupacabra, kill the Jersey Devil, kill it so we can all see it. Then I'll believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember on X-Files, I want to believe. I want to believe. So kill it so I can see it, and then I'll believe. That's my solution. Kill it. You know what? I'm gonna tell you, Jeff. This is my personal belief. I think that so many people are into that stuff because, brother, that is a cash cow. Do you know every year this guy I follow on YouTube? Yeah, for our listeners, you should check him out, man. He's really good, really good traveling around the country. Now he's international, going across the pond. Went to England and France. Really, really good. His name is the Carpetbagger, Jacob the Carpetbagger. He travels all over the place. His YouTube channel is really cool. He goes to, I forget, I guess it's where Mount Pleasant's where it originally happened. Every year they have a huge, people from all over the world come for the Mothman festival they have there. They have this huge metal statue of the Mothman. He's going to these other cryptid things as well. Man, people are making so much money off of that stuff. That's what I believe it is, man. That's really my personal opinion. Why people are still talking about, because you make a ton of cash on it. You know, write a book. Hey, look, You can go on Chat GPT right now, help you write a book. I'm telling you, it won't cost you anything to, well, maybe to produce it, to get them printed up, but you'll make money because you got so many people like, oh my gosh, it's Bigfoot. You had an experience with Bigfoot. I've heard, and the funny thing is, I used to only think realistically because all the shows you typically all you ever saw, and I'm not trying to be racist, I'm just being keeping it 100. Typically 99.9% of the time all you saw was white people telling this story, right? I've seen the UFO, I saw Bigfoot, I saw this, blah blah blah, a werewolf, whatever. But even now, I've seen more stories recently of other nationalities. I've seen Hispanic people telling their stories. I saw it's a black gentleman. He's been around for a minute. I only learned about him within the past year. That told this story about him and some friends of his got attacked by a rougarou in Louisiana. That's the Louisiana, another name for a werewolf. But there, I saw a lady recently was being interviewed about a black lady that her house she grew up in was haunted and all this stuff. So I mean, I tend to believe more than anything else, man. It's more of a cash grab because you do have so many people that love that stuff. The guy I tell you about, the carpetbagger, man, this guy buys tons of merchandise. There's all these vendors out there selling. You can go buy Bigfoot hair in a jar, and you know, I mean, you name it, they got all kinds of tchotchkes, Bigfoot dolls, chupacabra dolls, and stickers and books, and that's just what I believe it is, man. More than anything else, that's what I believe it is. I don't even think realistically a lot of the people even selling that stuff really believes it. I just think it's a good cash cow, man. If you know how to make that stuff and or get your hands on it, people are definitely gonna buy it. You know, how many Bigfoot casts have we seen now, man? That's a go in your backyard, make some Bigfoot casts, sell them on eBay for $10. You'll have $1,000 before the end of the month, man. I'm telling you, people will buy that stuff. I, I don't know. That's just my take on it. That's what I believe it is. But hey, Jeff, hopefully one day you'll see a Bigfoot in your backyard or, chupacabra, on your front lawn and you can say, Ron, I told you.
Or you could watch that old movie, Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I never, you know what? I saw bits and pieces. I've never saw. I remember it was a TV show too, wasn't it?
I
Yeah, it
don't
was a
think
series.
so, but maybe.
I thought it was a series. Whatever. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think it ever was, but
Okay. I did see bits and pieces of the movie. I never really wanted to watch the whole thing. But the one Bigfoot I can say I did like the Bigfoot when Andre the Giant played him on the $6 Million Man. For
I
you,
think,
for you,
I think that was the episode where the people thought that the $6 Million Man show had jumped the shark.
for so again, I don't know the age range of our listeners, so I know definitely when I talk to my coworkers, I have to explain everything to them. So if you don't know, the $6 Million Man was a series that came out in the 1970s, starring Lee Majors as a $6 Million Man. He was a astronaut who was in a terrible spaceship crash, and basically he lost his arms, legs, body parts. So an agency came together. They had these bionic parts, legs, arms, eye, and they rebuilt him. Right. So then he became like kind of like a secret agent working for that agency or whatever. And he had all these different adventures. He could run faster than a car. He was super strong with his bionic arm. He could pick a car up. Well, he could lift a car off the ground with his, super strength. And he could jump like 30 feet in the air, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, and just one of the episodes that he was in, he was out in the backwoods. I don't remember why he was out there. Once again, out in the backwoods, but he came across Bigfoot, and the old wrestler, Andre the Giant, had a Bigfoot suit on. Hey, you know what's funny? Andre the Giant played Bigfoot one time, but you know who else played him too? I only found this out recently. You know, Ted Cassidy actually played Bigfoot too on the $6 Million Man.
Oh yeah.
Okay, for you all who don't know, Ted Cassidy was the gentleman who played Lurch in the original old black and white Addams Family episodes. He's the one who played Lurch. Also, this is a little sidebar too. Just since I'm talking about the Twilight Zone earlier, Ted Cassidy was also the alien in the episode of the Twilight Zone To Serve Man. He was the he was the alien that was talking to the humans about, oh, we want you to come, we want you to come, and he gave him the book. That's another. I didn't tell you that one. That's another fantastic episode too for you UFO people. Anywho, let's move on. We're gonna be on Bigfoot all night. The next, oh, you know what? I tell you what, for our listeners, I gave you the website, bloody, was it Bloody Disgusting? Yeah,
Bloody
right.
disgusting.
Yeah, look at those. Look at those trailers that we just talked about, and send us an email at drbloodstone@gmail.com and tell me what you think about them. You think they're going to be decent movies? I'm sure you probably catch them on streaming. The first two we talked about. The other one, I don't even know if it's out yet. But tell me what you think. Or is the time for those found footage films done and over with? They've been around for like, I think the first one was the Blair Witch Project. Then came Paranormal Activity? And okay, the last article we have. This is coming from Comic Book Resources, their website. And they have an article just came out that says it's official. Paramount's latest Star Trek movie update is great news for fans. Now, we had heard a while ago, we talked about it on the show a while ago, that it had been said that they were going to have a brand new Star Trek movie coming out that was not going to have anything to do with Kirk or Spock or anything or anybody. It was going to, not even the Enterprise. There is supposed to be a new movie that's going to be coming out, but it's going to have a whole new side of Starfleet that we've never seen before. It's going to be a brand new franchise. And it appears that they're going to be moving forward with this. Now, we have several different series on Paramount. We have Star Trek Discovery. We have Strange New Worlds with Captain Pike, which is awesome. You should check it out if you haven't. But do you think, and we talked about it before, Jeff, do you think this is going to work? I mean, a brand new Star Trek movie. I mean, because look, we've known even in the series that I'm talking about, the two series, Captain Kirk is, still there. People know Captain Kirk. People know Spock. So, do you think that this would be successful? A brand new movie, not a new series, but a brand new movie that has nothing to do with the cast of the Enterprise or the crew of the Enterprise that we've known since like the 1960s.
Well, like you say, Star Trek's been around now for like 50 years, and characters like Spock and Kirk and Spot, or yeah, Kirk and Spock and Scotty,
Uh-huh.
and probably Picard from TNG are all iconic characters.
Right.
And I saw the movies that J.J. Abrams did, but it wasn't Star Trek because it didn't have William Shatner and it didn't have James Doohan and the rest of the cast. They were like younger, different versions, and I
Right.
wasn't. It's Star Trek. I'm going to take a look anyway because I grew up watching Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if it's good writing, I think if it's it's a good story. They can do all kinds of stuff now with CGI and different type of effects.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think if it was handled well, I think if it kind of maybe washes the bad taste of Abrams out of people's mouths. If you get a couple trailers out there and people are saying, "Yeah, this looks like some pretty good stuff," I think that I'm going to put my money down and I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I agree. I I mean, I don't know. I know. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. There was they did have somebody, and we talked about it when we talked about it on the show previously. They did have somebody attached who was going to be writing the the script and everything for it. It didn't really say so. It didn't mention that person in this article in particular, but it did mention that somebody was already writing the story. So, I mean, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of if; it's just a matter of when. But yeah, I would be definitely interested in seeing. That's kind of like to me the same thing is there's supposed to be somebody writing three new Star Wars movies that has absolutely nothing to do with Luke Skywalker. I'm like, oh my gosh, finally! It took like 9 movies, you know. So no, good. There's a whole nother side of the galaxy that we don't even know about. Let's go ahead and see that. So that being said, I would definitely be interested as well. I think it's good. I think it's time we see a new side of Starfleet, a whole new different part of the galaxy that is not really even related, you know. Well, I mean, it's still going to be in the same year. Well, no, it doesn't definitely mean it's going to be on the same timeline as Kirk and them. It could be later, or hopefully, it's not going to be before the original Star Trek. I don't want to say a prequel. I mean, before that time. So somewhere it could be afterwards. That's fine, whatever. But no, let's see something new. And I think what you were talking about, where a lot of people really weren't feeling that J.J. Abrams. I thought they were okay. I mean, they weren't my favorite. They were okay. Was the whole thing with the Kelvin timeline? I think that's what really just kind of like people were kind of like not really feeling those movies. That's what kind of messed it up for everybody that didn't like it anyway. But like I said, I thought they were okay. They were okay. But let's see something new. Now, incidentally, for our listeners, if you go to it's cbr.com, or if you just type in cbr.com, Paramount Star Trek movie reboot, good news for fans, just type that in Google and it'll pop right up. There's actually a quiz for our Star Trek fans that's right here on the website. It's 20 questions. I did it. I use it, and I usually don't do those survey things or quiz to find out who you are. So it's 20 questions. It says, which Star Trek legend are you? Um, it says, space the final frontier. These are the voyages of your personality, from the bridge of the Enterprise to the holodeck, from Starfleet Academy to the farthest reaches of the Alpha Quadrant. The Star Trek universe is filled with legends of logic, courage, compassion, and curiosity. 20 questions, one legendary result. Your mission begins now. So I went ahead and took it. Did you took it as well, didn't you, Jeff?
I did.
So who did you being up? So when you're done, it has 5 people listed. It has Kirk, it has Spock, it has Data, it has Uhura, and Picard. And from the questions, for each character, it's going to have a number next to that person. Whichever character had the highest number, that's who your legend is, who you are, right? So who did you end up being, Jeff? Which character was most closely related to you?
I got Spock at 9, Kirk at 5, Data at 2, Picard at 1, and I don't remember who my remaining numbers was, but my highest was Spock.
Is that right? That's
Hmm.
funny. I didn't. You know what? I should have saved my score. I didn't save my score, but I ended up being Kirk. And Kirk, I only had so out of. I see what they did. I see. Okay, again, people. I tell you, I'm kind of slow. I just figured it out. So basically, every question that you answer is going to go to one of those one of the characters. I told you I'm slow. I just realized it now. So out of all the questions that I answered, the most that I answered would have fallen up under Kirk. So he was 6. I think Uhura was 5. Who else was 5? I think was it Data? Was Spock or Data? I don't know. I don't remember who else it was. But yeah, I'm Captain Kirk. I'm Captain Kirk. I I I mm, I can kind of see that. A little bit. A little bit. I'm not a womanizer or anything like that, but I can kind of see Captain.
You're not a player?
No, sir, not at all. No, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, you can take the quiz. It's pretty cool if you're if you're a Star Trek fan. I really don't, because they got like a million of these like on Facebook and all them things. I usually don't take them, but I thought it was pretty cool. So that is the last story that we're covering. And now our question of the week. So our question of the week this week is, Jeff, if you have to spend 1 year living in a Dungeons and Dragons, Wizard and Warriors fantasy world, but you could only bring one item from Walmart, what would it be?
Oh, I've been sitting thinking about that, and the only thing that I could think of would be like a knife set, maybe something, all I could think of was like cooking knives, but that's not really that's not really. I'm thinking more like one of those rebar combat knives with grooves down the center for the blood. That
Do they sell do they sell machetes at Walmart?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That'd be a
Okay.
good. That'd be a good phone call. Excuse me, Walmart. I'm looking for a machete. I'm going to play D&D tonight.
I know. You should, yeah. So let me ask you a question. Does Walmart still sell guns? I know they used to.
I don't think so. I think that
See,
they opted out of that, but I don't go over to that section when I'm in Walmart. So
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't look at the sporting goods and the balls and the bikes and
Yeah, yeah,
all that
yeah.
stuff.
That's like the fishing stuff. I go fishing, so I know that's why I'm over there. But I don't go to Walmart very often, and I can't remember. I know they used to. They used to sell them, but something happened or whatever. And that was probably more than a decade ago. I don't know if I think they stopped, because that was gonna be my cheat. I was gonna say, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy a 12 gauge shotgun. And some ammo. That's what I'm bringing with me. But I guess, wow, that kind of throws everything off now. So okay, let's just say they don't sell firearms.
All right. Google says Walmart does not sell handguns, but you can buy long guns. Think rifles and shotguns. But yes, depending on the state, you can walk into Walmart and buy a gun.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm buying a 30-30 and a year's worth of ammo. I'm gonna be a freaking rock star, man. I'm gonna be a rock star in the fantasy world. I'll be shooting like dragons and warriors and wizards that come after me. Man, I will be a rock star. So yeah, that I know that's kind of a cheat, but I don't care. Yeah, that's what I'm taking with me,
I
man.
was going to say, depending on the Walmart, I want to walk into a Walmart and get like an anti-curse vest. So the wizards could curse me and they would bounce off me.
Diverse vest. That's a good one.
That's for the fantasy Walmart in the D&D world.
Yeah, I mean they got them everywhere else. I don't see why there wouldn't be one back there as well. So yeah, yeah,
You could buy dragon meat and werewolf cloak,
exactly.
all
Everything
that
you
stuff.
need. Everything you need. Well, that brings us to the end of our show. And once again, we want to thank all of our listeners. Thank you for your support. And If you, once again, listen to our episodes on YouTube, you can subscribe, meaning every time we upload a brand new episode, you'll be the first one notified. But I don't know how many people actually listen to our episodes on YouTube. But we're also available on every other platform out there, Spotify, Amazon, anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can find our episodes there. I want to thank my host, Jeff, tonight. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Ron. It's always fun to come in and talk smack about movies, and hope that people are listening to us all over the world.
Yeah, I hear you. And I want to again say thank you all, and we look forward to we look forward to coming back, seeing you all next week. Thanks, and have a good week, everybody.
Peace out, everyone.